Alright, making a video. Yeah, I should put this on the Evilist channel, but I feel hostile, so fuck it. Yeah, it's just this, the Piro video just again brought up just focused it, just made it so obvious. First, these people aren't going to accept that quite obviously, it can be argued, as in the David Benatar book, that human beings are deluding themselves. They're even the people who claim to be happy are not in fact happy. I mean, it's a stupid concept anyway, this idea that you're going to use the word like happy to describe the entirety of a life. No, you have good moments and bad moments, and when you add them up, was it a good or was it a bad? Are the goods worth what suffering was endured to exist, to live the life? And the rational argument being made is that the goods are superficial, the bads are real, the net effect is you can't win. The fact is, my twin brother, who doesn't exist, is not in any way deprivated state. He's missing absolutely nothing. He's void of nothing. He's in no negative state. And the truth is, you can't do better than that. You really can't. It's perfect. And we just break the imperfection by showing up here and attempting to play this game. And the only way you can do that is to create zeros, create negatives, to create the illusion of a positive. So we create the negative of a sense of deprivation, want, desire, and that motivates behavior and controls behavior because of a psychological phenomenon, period. Nothing more complicated than that. It's all just psychology creating a false perception. So just like I think the average atheist, probably listening to this, would understand that it's basically be awful to exist in a ignorant, dumb culture where you have no hope of escaping their stupidity and foolishness. The same argument can be made here, sort of, is that you're just ignorant, dumb culture. You're just dumb people who think you're accomplishing something, who think you're winning, and you're failing dismally. I'm sure the people of Afghanistan think they're winning. Do you think they're winning? No, I think they're losing. Big time. I'd pay big money not to be born there, quite obviously. So yeah, that's the first. It's this asymmetry argument. You really can't. there is no deprivation to not enjoying crap you don't need. And so if you don't create the need, there's no potential for deprivation, there's no potential for loss, there's no potential for a negative state of being. Again, my non-existent brother is not in a negative state. Okay, it just can't happen. It's impossible. He's immune to it. And that's quite perfect. But anyway, you can't do better than that. But the second argument, which is this imposition one, is the argument I see as more weighty. Okay, because you really can't argue with people's personal perception. No matter how many times you tell them, like with sports or something, it's just an illusion of value, idiot. You could like anything. You could like turtle racing. You could like rolling balls up a hill. You don't have to like baseball. Baseball isn't intrinsically valuable. Your little millionaires running around hitting baseballs and saying, "Ooh, I'm the best player." It's all bullshit. It's arbitrary, erroneous nonsense. Yeah, well, they don't get it. So yeah, you just give up on that shit and just get to the point, which is the argument where you really get killed, is the imposition argument. So I'll concede. I'll let you have your delusion, okay, like a retard who stands up and says, "I like shitting my pants. I like being completely out of control." Yeah. You can get him to say anything. So beyond me just, thinking you're retarded and assholes for thinking you're accomplishing something, let's just say you're accomplishing something. Let's just grant you your right to think you are. You have to grant me my right to say I'm not. And now you have the problem of the imposition, because you're the one imposing. You're the one obliging me to go to your fun park and ride your rides and eat your food and suck on your ugly, disgusting tit. And I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it with any kind of willingness or cooperation. I'm going to start kicking and screaming. And the people who are being the losers in this game now have the ability to kick and scream. They have the ability to not only have the conversation more openly, because of course it was always suppressed by the religious assholes, but this is part of the consequence of atheism. Is we live in a stupid world of unintelligent design, and an intelligence isn't going to find that charming, beautiful, magnificent, inspiring. No, an intelligence is going to say, this is stupid. Why are we just rubber stamping this chemical process of reproduction? It doesn't deserve it. It hasn't earned it. It's just nonsense. It's just a tradition. Tradition is no excuse for doing anything. You have to always justify what you do. You can't just say, well, people have always done it. The DNA says so. The DNA says it's all right. Well, it's just not good enough. Fire trucks. Weird. Anyway. Oh, God, fuck shit. Anyway. Sorry, stream is still rather aggressive. I was hoping it would cut me some slack. But apparently not. Yeah, so anyway, I've sort of tried to make these arguments with different analogies. And so now this word sovereignty keeps coming up, and I think that's a great word to put up against the word imposition. So they keep talking about their individual sovereignty, and they keep doing it in a conversation about the creation of a new life form. And they keep running away from the fact that their sovereignty ends when that new life heart beats. Okay, they just don't have a right to initiate that process. And to deny they're doing the initiation is just idiotic. It's, of course, an act of will. It's an act of choice. We know what causes reproduction. We know how to control reproduction. And if you allow it to take place, and you justify it and defend it as anything other than an accident, then you have no credibility. And you have to justify the accident, of course, too. But anyway, none whatsoever. My life is not your sovereignty. Your sovereignty doesn't, you don't have the right to, again, defeat the analogy that you majority, you natalist assholes, are basically just saying, tough shit if you don't like it, I'm going to keep dragging you here. That's what you're saying to me. And you're expecting me to what? What polite response am I supposed to give to that? You can actually see the bottom now. Yay! Well, at least now I can see what I'm stepping on and avoid the worst of it. So that was much better. Where was I? Yeah, sovereignty. Yeah, I mean, so it's just, it's laughable. But all these analogies work. You want something, just like slave owners want something, just like child molesters want something, just like drunk drivers want something. You want to act your way and do what you want when you want to do it, and you don't want to take responsibility. Just like gun owners don't want to take responsibility for the fatalities created, the accidental deaths they create. They don't want to pay the freight for that in terms of a tax on their gun ownership that would compensate the victims of their bullets going awry. But anyway, separate subject. Yeah, so you don't want accountability, you don't want responsibility, and you don't want somebody to state plainly and flat out the obvious, which is you're imposers and you're defending your imposition. And again, you're expecting me to say what to that? You have a right to molest? No, you don't have a right to do that. You have a right to recklessly disregard? No, you don't have a right to do that. You have a right to, oh yeah, even that's funny, because, Pirro was like mincing words, like somehow it'd be okay to call him a child endangerer or a child abuser but not a child molester. Well, whatever. That seems like semantics to me, but I don't mind. Any one of those words is fine. Yeah, you're a reckless endangerer. And what do we do with reckless endangerers? Oh, that's right. We wham a little hammer on a desk and say, guilty. Yeah. As charged. That's all you are. You're all guilty as charged. You have no counter argument. You have no excuse. You have no mitigating circumstance. There's nothing. You can't write the paragraph that explains why you have the authority, why you have the right to impose, why you know what's going to happen, or you have insurance. Like I said, all these things would help. I mean, if you had insurance against disaster, well, then maybe you have a right to drive. But you don't have insurance. You can't cover the liability. So you have nothing. You have just no defense, none. And that's where it's like, yeah, until you resolve that problem of you having absolutely no counter argument to the imposition argument, except to deny the reality of it. So again, you're obliging me to keep metaphoring. You're obliging me to keep explaining using different examples of how it's no different than. Okay, it is no different than. Because that's what it is. The one thing doesn't happen unless you do what you do. You are the direct cause. You are the mechanism that makes it happen. You are the cause of the effect. There's no denying it, no unraveling it, no running away from it. And all the affected are asking, or obliging you to do, is to defend that imposition. To say why you have a right to get what you want, and to impose on them what they don't want. It's that simple. And you're just saying, quite plainly, my desires are more important than yours. My interests are more important than your interests. My values are more right than your values. That's all you're saying, and you're expecting the other side to politely say, oh, that's such a fascinating argument. Yeah, I'll have to ponder that and think about it. Yeah, maybe I'll come back to you in 10 years and explain why that's an absolute pile of shit. Yeah. No, that's not going to be the reaction. If the slave owner comes back with, you darkies don't matter, well, the slave owner's going to get his nuts kicked, I think. If the drunk driver comes back with, hey, those fuckers shouldn't be driving on the road when I'm on the road. It's my fucking road. Well, he's going to get kicked in the nuts. If the child molester says, the child abuser says, it's just a fucking kid, who the hell cares? I'm big and tall, it's short and fat, I can do whatever the fuck I want to it. Well, it's going to get kicked in the nuts. And that's all you people have so far. All you have so far is shut up, you complainers. Die and free up resources for us life lovers. Yeah. So, and we'll just keep grinding you up. We'll keep having you, and we'll keep obliging you to smell our shit, to eat our shit. So yeah, we could even go to the rape analogy. You're just rapists. And you'll even defend forcing us to eat your shit. That's how far you'll go. And then you'll laugh about it and say, it's only brown stuff, asshole. No big deal. I mean, it's all in your head. It's matter. It's carbon and, potassium and, hydrogen and oxygen. It's not really shit. Yeah, that's all you're going to do. Because you're insensitive, sadistic, masochistic, lunafucking-ticks. And, there, you've been rightly described and defined. Yeah, and there's not much else to say. But like I said, you will lose in the end. Life is not going to win. All right, there's this violent equation that's going to fuck you. You still haven't gotten past violence as a solution. You're going to have drone wars. You're going to end inevitably going to have nuclear war. You're going to blow up your environment. You're going to, use up all the resources. you're fighting the physics. And then there's all this universe out there that does have your number. We've been extremely lucky in terms of avoiding the noise of the universe. There's a little turtle. I've been waiting for you. Yay! Little Dutter. Little Dutter. Little Dutter. Yeah, I let Dutter go, so this is my new Dutter now. He's not really a dud though. Snapping turtle. That's really, if they're the only turtle that's really thriving. Of course, you know, the most violent, prehistoric, nasty turtle would be the one that survives. You know, all the other graceful veggie turtles are being wiped out. But this one hides in the water, so that's the secret. You know, people don't like the water. Yeah, see, they hatch this time of year. I knew I'd find one eventually. That's why I've been looking in puddles, because it's inevitable. Inevitable. They're all related to probably my turtles in the past. I used to raise them, but no, I won't get into that. Yeah, so it's probably related to a turtle I raised when I was a kid. But anyway, where the hell was I? Yeah, so he's going to live nice and comfortable for a year or two. Yay. Anyway, no birds to see. That damn fucking heron. You know, it's probably going to pick him off pretty soon. Squash him and his guts would pop out. Ew, really gross. Anyway, it's going to happen anyway. Everything's doomed to die. So I probably should let him go die today. But it's not instinctive. But philosophy is not about your instincts. Philosophy isn't about what you emotionally wish or want or hope. And that's where these people are failing dismally. They're defending life because that's the initial impulse. That's the visceral reaction. Because that's what we've grown up to believe. We're indoctrinated right from the beginning to play the game. Because guess what? It's crazy, sadistic lunatics that give birth to us. Is the light still on? Yeah. And so that's the game it's played. But let's acknowledge what it is. It's bullshit. And those people have lied to you your whole life. They didn't tell you the truth. They didn't explain to you the truth from the beginning. So you've grown into tremendous false perceptions of what reality is. Reality is consumption, reproduction, addiction, and cannibalism. It's crap. And it's time to let it go. So party like it's 1999 and let it go. And quit pretending you have a right to impose. To impose or not to impose? The answer is obvious. Don't fucking be an imposer. And don't defend the imposition. There, pretty simple. Really simple. Profoundly fucking simple. So obviously simple, even a lizard should get it. Even this turtle might be able to understand. But you can't get into a pyro head. No siree. He's got like alcohol trigonosis or something. Beyond neurology's all frozen up. Turned to cement. Yeah. Anyway, the sun is out. Holy shit, I haven't seen the sun in a week. Oh. Oh. Ooh, it's giving me a chubby. Next time. See you then. Oh, lights on. Yeah, a little add-on maybe. Back at the stream. But the sun did come out. Look at the blue sky. Oh, really, really nice. Yay. But see, that's the deprivation thing. You go a few days living with this shit and water everywhere, gloomy, cold, wet, damp, cruddy, and then this happens, and yes, it changes your perception. But that's all it is, it's perception. Yeah. It's because you got wore down. And that's what life does. Life wears you down. It creates little moments of relief and freedom where your gravity is brought back to normal, so to speak, and you have the illusion of pleasure. But it's only because your brain isn't quite acknowledging the negative state of the tense, the gravity state, because it's acclimated to it. That's what we do in the first years of our lives. That's why we cry so much when we're kids. It's because we're acclimating to the obnoxiousness of reality. So we're being prepared. The spring is being compressed. So later it can give you little smackles of freedom from the burden, and you'll think you're winning. You'll think you made forward progress when all you did was get back the ground that was taken from you by being here. Yeah, that's the zero sum of the game. So anyway, yeah, that's how it works. It's a stupid game. I'll say it again. It's a stupid game for stupid people, and the stupid should not be allowed to force the smart to play their stupid game. The end. And thank you very much. And just a little add-on. Just an excuse, because really, this is so much nicer. Yeah, the weather really has been brutally compressing. Yeah. Until next time.